Start right from the start. Said nothing can be done. The council voted. Is the good alderman telling me that the mayor of this community has no influence over the council? Is he saying this couldn't be brought up again? I'm saying he's wrong.
Then Bob, bring it up. Put your money where your mouth is. Introduce a resolution. Introduce a resolution.
Did I?
Introduce a resolution and see where it goes. Be my guest.
I can tell you.
Let's relitigate it.
Boy, this really gets under your skin.
Let's relitigate the issue. I'm not the one holding a press conference every 2 weeks. I'm quite content proceeding with a project that this council deliberated over at great length, took extensive public testimony, reviewed with a lot of experts.
Will you let me respond or not? Because I'd be more than happy to respond individually. Okay?
Take action.
But Bob, I didn't interrupt you. You're up here interrupting my press conference. You could have held one after me. So show me the respect I showed you. That's all I'm asking. Okay?
Please continue.
I'm trying.
But I'm not going to let you lie to the public.
I'm not lying.
I'm not going to let you lie to the public. I'm tired of these phony assertions, letting people believe that this money can be used for purposes that it can't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Alderman. I got to tell you this. My understanding of government ought to be that we respond to what our constituents demand.
I don't know what our constituents demand.
Not, then hold a referendum.
Gentlemen, please.
What are you afraid of with a referendum? You come up here to disrupt my shame on you. Shame on you.
A referendum was held a month ago.
There was no referendum held a month ago. You talk about these public meetings.
Can get them in one-on-ones.
I'd be more than happy to talk with any of you one-on-one. But I'm disappointed in you for coming up and disrupting.
I'm disappointed with continual lying.
My letter was to the mayor. And shame on you for carrying water for the mayor. It is not falsehoods.
I'm tired of lying. Somebody has to have an honest discussion of the pros and cons of these investments instead of demagoguery and lying and phony assertions of fact.
What's wrong with the referendum?
Because we voted on that and you lost.
I'm calling for it again.
Then put it on.
What are you afraid of?
Introduce a file. Introduce a file. And we can vote on it.
This is my press conference.
Introduce a file and we can vote on it.
Until you do, sir.
I'm not leaving. We can stand here all day. These guys, we can do a jig.
It's a damn shame.
It is a vaudeville act. You might as well tell jokes.
But I will simply end with this, ladies and gentlemen. My colleagues who support this, are kidding themselves if they truly believe that the majority of Milwaukeeans support this boondoggle.
Bob, we got reelected.
We got reelected. Has absolutely nothing to do with
So elections have nothing to do with public policy in the city?
That has nothing to do with this issue. Do you know how difficult it is for any individual, any little guy out there, to run against a standing alderman? It's not easy, Bob, okay? Now, are you saying that you're God Almighty and have all the answers, and that's why nobody ran against you? I'm not going to argue that point. I'm talking about what do any of these individuals have to fear from hearing from our constituents? It's my #1 issue that I've been calling for.
Introduce a resolution for us to vote on having a referendum again. And let's see where it goes.
I'm asking for the mayor to call for that because he has the influence that I don't. He's the mayor of this city.
Only you can introduce a file before the common council. The mayor can't introduce a file.
I'm asking the mayor to give the go-ahead. I'm asking for him. Yes.
Doesn't even make sense. He doesn't have the authority to do that.
If the mayor...
How can he introduce...
The mayor, yeah.
He doesn't have the power
to introduce a file. It happens all the time. He calls an alderman and it's introduced, Bob. Come on.
Introduce it.
How long...
Why can't, if you're so passionate about this, just introduce a file?
I'm asking for the mayor.
And make your argument.
I'm asking for the mayor to take a position.
Why don't you do it?
I already did.
And you lost.
And I lost.
So do it again. If you think circumstances have changed, or you have new and better arguments, or the people have changed in their attitude, or the council has changed its attitude, introduce a file.
Maybe I will. But I'm asking for the mayor to take a position.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's the kind of phony assertions that the public is sick and tired. Asking the mayor to do something the mayor can't do is just plain silly.
The mayor can say, I support a referendum. I support hearing from the people.
So what?
He was
Introduce a
elected to
file,
represent.
introduce a file, and then somebody can vote on whether we actually have a referendum, instead of just, instead of showboating. Take action, don't showboat, take action.
Bob,
This is showboating, this is just making wild assertions to the public which have no factual basis. You say the money can be reallocated, it
why
can't,
can't it?
because we have
I
a,
don't care what some damn bureaucrat in Washington says. We have elected
It's their
officials
money.
who ought to be making decisions. It's our money. What do you mean it's their money? It's our money and our representatives
Absolutely.
asking for leadership from the mayor. Is that so hard to ask this day and age, that he take the bull by the horns and say, okay, let's take a step back, let's have a referendum, okay? And let's wait and see just what the people might have to say. If you're telling me that that can't be done in this America anymore, then you can stop the bus. I'm getting off.
I'm telling you, it can be done all right. The money can be sent to St. Louis, which is exactly what will happen. Basically, Bob Donovan, once again, demonstrates an aversion for the city of Milwaukee, a hatred for the city of Milwaukee. He would rather see this, he is so ideologically opposed to public transit, because that's what we're talking about.
Bob, that's just not
So
true.
ideologically
And for you
opposed
to
to public
say I hate
transit,
the
that he
city
would
of
rather
Milwaukee,
see
shame
this
on
money
you.
go to St. Louis, or Cleveland, or Salt Lake City,
Shame
or
on
any
you,
one of the
Robert.
number. Well, that's the
Shame
alternative.
on you.
That is the
Shame
only
on you.
alternative, which you
Shame
know.
on you.
That's shame on you
Shame
for
on
hating
you
this
for
community
saying-
so much
for
that you would
hating.
rather see the money go to St. Louis, because
Shame.
that's the option. You know
Shame,
that.
shame.
You know that the money would go to another community.
No, I don't
Yes,
know
you
that.
do know that.
I
because
happen to
we have-
believe.
You
I happen-
don't know that because you choose to ignore the written word.
Bob, I
on a
happen
piece
to
of paper.
believe in our government and the way our government ought to work. And our government ought to work by representing the
Absolutely.
citizens.
And that's what we've done. The council has voted representing the citizens by a vote of 10 to 5 to support this project. You disagreed, that's your right. But
So-
that is how
so
the
you're
government
arguing
works.
that this
The government
isn't even
has worked.
controversial.
The government has worked. We voted 10 to 5 to advance this project in the final design. That is how the government worked.
Yeah.
That is democracy.
Milwaukee, folks, and sorry to
You would rather
say
see the money go to another
that.
city.
I'm sorry
They see it used
that
to
my
create jobs
colleagues,
right downtown.
that my colleagues, who at one time I respected,
You answered the question of the reporter. You would rather see the money
would dare
go
say
to
that
another
I
city.
hate this community.
Who
Shame on
would
you.
send money away to another city?
Bob,
Who would send that money away to another community?
Bob, shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame
You know
on
that.
your,
Shame on you.
on your,
Okay. I'd be more than happy to answer any follow-up questions.